download your picture.
Hey everyone,
Hola,
welcome. I am going to zoom in here really quick, so apologize, but the camera will shake just a little bit there, so apologize. Welcome to Make It Monday with Ken's Creations and Sean McCoy. Sean Salutations. Shawnee.
Whatever.
We're going to let everyone join here. A couple things. We are live.
Hi, Angela. Hi, Deanna.
Currently. Make sure to share this video with your friends. Make sure to tell everyone to subscribe.
Hey, Kyle.
And Sean is watching comments. I will be building the card. I have given you the links of everything down below. There is a lot of links, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But there is a lot going on down below. In fact, there was so much we couldn't put any more in the description.
It wouldn't let us.
It would not.
No.
It would not let us. So we are going to show you how to make this card. Look at this. It's a shaker card, Sean.
I know.
So we're going to be using some different products. Fun Stamper's Journey, a company called Queen & Company. And while everyone's joining, I will just dive right in. What is Queen & Company? So I'm going to put the card off to the side here. But I saw these when I was actually at the Silhouette Summit. I saw these get posted, and I fell in love with them. These are called, they're by a company called Queen & Company, and they're a shaker card kit. Let me take that sticker off there. They're a shaker card kit that comes with pretty much everything you need to make a kit. There's a couple different styles. Now, I will be selling these, so if you are... A card, sorry. Okay. If you are interested in buying these, reach out to me. I think the kits, which are these guys, I'm going to be selling for $20 plus shipping. And then there's some other ones that I'll be showing you that I'm selling, I think, for $4 in shipping. Now, what comes in the kit? For example, this is the one that I started using, and this is a flower kit. And this kit here is, you get everything but really the fixins. So they kind of show you, it's kind of misleading because it looks like you're going to get these fillings and the twine. You're not, so just so you know. But you do get the dies. So this one will have three dies. You have the flower, the leaf, the flower. Then you actually get the foam. This is what's raising your card up. So on my card, you can see the foam is right there. So you get that already pre-shaped. You will also get the acetate sheets, which is really nice. And everything's already cut for you. And it's enough to make, I believe, 4 cards, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 4 cards. Because you get 3 cards if you were to use both flowers. Or you can make 6 cards for these 2 different flowers. Now, some other cool things about it is they have tons of different ones. So this one here is the flower design. I love this one. This one is called Say Cheese, and it is kind of a movie theme. You get that movie reel, you get this film reel here, and then you also get this like Polaroid picture there. So, and like I said, it's really cool. You get all the little foam cutouts, the dies. Oh, and also down in the description, they give refill kits. So let's say you bought this kit, you love it, and you want more of just the contents. You can buy just the contents, and that way you don't have to keep buying the dies. This one is the... it's an umbrella, I mean a kite kit, so kind of a spring. So you're going to get the sunglass die. You're going to get the kite, and you're also going to get this beach ball. So once again, if you're interested in these, I have 6 of each of these designs that I'm selling for $20. Reach out to me. So this one is my favorite, the dog kit, which comes with the paw, the wolf, and the little bone. This is the butterfly kit, and what's cool on this one is you get a front ways butterfly, and you get a side butterfly, and all the objects in there. This is the spring kit. This one you get a little sunshine, you get the umbrella, and you get the cloud. And this one is the birthday kit. So this one here, you're going to get the cake, you're going to get the little hat, and then you're going to get this candle. So now those are the actual kits. So it's cool. They give you a little pouch, which I'll show you here in a second, with your dies down here, your foam pieces up here, and your acetates up here. Now, if that's a little bit too much for you, they also have these, which are cool. These are just called their foam fronts. Now, these here, they give you enough to make 4 shaker cards. And basically what you do is you pop out the foam. So like this one's a balloon. You pop out this little foam piece. and then you fill it, and then you put an acetate over it, and then adhere it to a card. So it's 3 steps. I have the, there's balloons. This one's a dog paw print. A sunburst. So this is an easy way to make shaker cards. For me, my biggest problem with the shaker cards is cutting my acetate, so having this all done is perfect. This one is a cloud and rainbow. We have a heart. We have a conversation bubble. We have a butterfly. And then this is my favorite one, which is a birthday candle kit. And I'm selling these ones. I have 6 of each of these. I'll be selling these for $4 a piece. So if you're interested, afterwards, text me or let me know. It will be that plus shipping. So the only one I do not have that some people know about is they do have a, it's not a Disney per se, but it is Disney. It's Mickey's hand in his shorts. And they call it the Magic Kit, which they're out of everywhere. I've tried looking. So the kit we're working with today is the only one I've opened. So this is the flower kit. When you open these kits, it's really cool. They give you this pouch, and inside the pouch...
Double pouch, actually.
Yeah, it's a double pouch. I put everything up here, but you will get, as I mentioned, you will get the dies. So this one has 3 metal dies. It's got the flowers. It's got this little tiny leaf down here. So it comes with the flowers, the 2 flowers and the leaf in the kit. You also get the foam inserts, which then you just need to pop out. So these are the small flower. I've already used one of the big flowers. And then the big flowers. And then you get all of the acetate to easily do this. So there should be 2 more in here. So what this is, the kind of the, what's awesome for me is these are already cut. So I don't have to fight with trying, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to cut acetate. I have a problem with it. Other people say it's super easy, but I have an issue. And I'm missing an acetate piece, so, oh well. We'll try to find it later. So I'm just going to take out one of these and one of these. And then I also will keep my acetate over here in a safe spot. And then I'm going to put the rest in my storage. So I have these 2 right here still to make another card. It does work great in the Cricut. My problem is I always seem to mess it up. It's just a Ken thing. Alright, so we're going to put this off to the side and we're going to get started on the card. So I'm going to put my dies off to the side since I don't need them. I'm using the Ken Oliver craft mat, which I love, but everything's super sticky to it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start our background, which I'm utilizing Fun Stamper's Journey Black Licorice. And I am also utilizing a white embossing powder here. So this embossing powder, you can get it through Fun Stamper's Journey. I am using in this one the Brutus Monroe Alabaster, which is a fine embossing powder. And we're going to stamp it utilizing our Misty here. So for those of you who don't know what a Misty is a stamp placement tool. There we go. And you're able to place your stamp perfectly. And this way, if you don't get a good transfer, you can always redo it. We're going to be doing it on a black piece, so I'm going to put this in my lower corner here. And the stamp I'm utilizing is a Fun Stamper's Journey stamp, and it's called Thread Sketch, which is right here. And this is an older stamp, and this was part of their older style, so that's why there's this photocopy here. But it's one of my favorite stamps. And the nice thing about the Misty is now I can position it perfectly on the Misty. And I'm actually going to put this kind of in the middle. I could probably use my bigger Misty, but that's okay. And let's see. That looks about one as close as I can to each side. And then I'm going to use a magnet. I do have the larger Misty I could use this on. Might make it easier, but we'll see. It's okay if it goes a little bit off the sides. Alright, so now that I have where I want it, I can push this, so it'll clean my stamp. Ta-da! And I'm going to use the Brutus Monroe embossing ink here. And we're just going to get a good coverage. Oh, but you know what, Sean? We forgot something. What did we forget, Sean? The step I always forget.
You forgot a piece of paper.
Well, no, the paper's in there. So this here is called my embossing powder prep. Whenever you're working with white embossing especially.
Correct. The powder. Yes, Mel.
You want to make sure you get this on here because this embossing powder is so fine that it will stick if you haven't gotten the static away. So now that we've done that, we're a little bit better. It works great. There's other brands out there. I just got the Inka Dinka, Inka Buka Baka Buka Boo. I forget the name of it. And there's an EK Success one and another one. Because if not, you could have little stragglers. On a black, not too bad to see. But if you're working on a white piece of paper, oh my goodness, it could be not fun. So I want to make sure I get a good transfer here. The nice thing about a Misty is if I don't, I can always restamp it, Sean. Ooh, that looks pretty good, though. Yeah, we're going with it.
Somebody's asking when the Tim Holtz thing...
So I've heard some people already got their Tim Holtz platforms. I do have some on order. I actually was fortunate to be able to buy a whole bunch, and I'm going to be selling them. But I don't have them in yet, which is very, very sad. Actually, that thing I just told you I didn't need, I actually do need. I lied to you, Sean. Sorry. Alright, so I'm going to bring this up, being very careful not to hit my sides. And then some people have a coffee filter that they'll pour this on. Some just use, I just use a scrap piece of paper. Doesn't really matter what kind. And the excess I will actually just put back into... So you can't see anything now,
some people are saying they got theirs.
I know, some people already got theirs. And so I haven't seen a ton of reviews, but as soon as I get it, I'll be reviewing it because I'm super excited about it. It'll be interesting to actually use since we saw it at CHA. So it seems like forever ago.
Jamie got hers on Saturday.
So we're going to make sure we have it on there. But you can see there's a little pieces kind of here and there, even though I use that stack tool. There will always be a thing. I always kind of hit it. Some people say, oh, don't hit it hard. But it seems to be fine to me. And then I always have a paintbrush nearby. Something like this. And I will just get extra little pieces here away. Just be careful when you're doing this because you might hit a part that you actually want. And then you have to either re-put it on or...
Start all over.
Start over. Alright. So, Sean's going to take that and dump it again. And then we have the... I have the Journey heat gun. Mostly for the reason because it's green. But I will say one of the key things people have always said to me on this is making sure your heat gun is hot before you do anything. So when I did this the first time, I didn't wait for it to get hot. And on a white piece of paper, or actually light piece of paper, you can end up burning your paper. Actually burning it. Like, it'll catch fire. I love my green, the green one. And having a nice embossing, or a heat, actually work, you know. I have other ones, but... I just like this one. It's a color thing. So I always have it hit my hand as soon as it's too hot for the handle. I will go ahead and hit it. You'll actually see your powder turn to a solid color as if it's almost melting in front of your eyes, which it is. And we can always do a final check at the very end. I love the look of an the white emboss. You could, now we could have stamped this with a white ink, but for me the embossing powder gives it a much more dramatic look. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but for me I prefer the embossed over the ink.
It makes it more brighter white.
It makes it what?
It makes it look like a much brighter white.
It's just dramatic, yeah. It's definitely a dramatic look. It's like watching paint dry, I know.
So Amanda wants to know, where did you get the powder sack from?
The what?
The little powder sack.
Oh, I got it from Amazon. The link should be down below. I thought I gave you guys the link, but maybe I didn't. If you just look up embossing powder tool, you'll be able to find that and other people's brands. I'm just taking a quick look to make sure I got all of this, because I missed some, and it's easier at a tilt for me to see the powder versus... Alright, I think I got it. There's a little spot right there I missed. It's hard to see if you're not in person, but you can definitely see when it turns. It gets definitely more defined, and it goes from that powdery state to a solid state. Alright, so there we go. Look at that. So dramatic. Kind of like me, Sean. So now we have to just kind of decide, too, on the background, which way we want our circle. So I have it where the flower on here is up here, because obviously there's a section of it where it's kind of blank. So I think I'm going to do that same thing again. So we're going to turn that this way. And the next thing really is doing this part, which is my embossing. Now, one thing you'll note is on here, when we punch this out, because we're going to punch these out, here's the shaker card pieces, and we're going to punch this out, and it's blank underneath. So it's up to you if you want to see what you want to see in your background. So if I was to do this, we're going to see that, where I option on this one to cut out a piece in white, which is probably what we'll do here. But essentially you just punch out your innards here. And you just want to be careful you don't take, there's a small piece of tape back here, and then there's another piece of tape up here, and that's what adheres to your card, and then also, of course, will adhere to the acetate. So you just don't want to take that piece off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my die, and the first thing I'm going to do is I have some white cardstock, and we're going to grab that and a pen, because this I actually have to cut out by hand, because this will be the white background. You could run this die through the die machine and try to perfectly position it, but I tried that the first time and it didn't work out. So this was a much easier way than trying to use the die and figure that piece out. So I'm going to draw these and then hand it off to Mr. Sean here, and he's going to be my assistant, cut these out. Thanks, Sean.
Hooray, hooray for me.
Hooray, hooray for you. So once again, if you guys have questions or the whole process, just let me know. Down, up, 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 up. Hopefully that didn't, well, we can just turn it around. There's a little...
I'll be cutting smaller than that anyway.
Yeah, there's a little divot in the die. So my pen got caught up. And we're using our Tim Holtz
snips.
These are awesome. I love them.
They're very nice.
So we have that. We're going to cut this piece out. So essentially how this works is you have your foam, then you're going to have your acetate. Well, you'll put your goodies in there, put your acetate, and then you're going to put the top layer on top of that. So you just want to make sure we have all those pieces. And we also need 4 of these. And the colors I'm using, again, this is, I think this is Electric Lime, and this is, I think, Bubblegum. So I have both of the color links down below. So that will tell you your colors. And I'm just going to grab my Cuttlebug, and we'll run that through our die machine. And I have the magnetic plate, which will make this a lot easier. So I'm going to have to do that. I'll do this one first, because I'm going to do the leaf quite a bit. So we'll run this guy through, or guys, I should say. And really, this only takes one pass, but it's just easier for me to go backwards to get out the flowers. And the flowers will come out. You'll have a couple pieces, so you could save the centerpiece if you want to, but you could technically use this as your bottom piece, but it's not a perfect size, so you're still going to see a little bit of the black, and that bugged me. So we have this guy, And then we have this piece here. And we're going to set those off to the side. We're done with this and these two dies for now. Well, unless we mess up, which has been known to happen. Shocker. And then the leaf guy, which is this little guy here. I did 4 times. Now, obviously, both of your flowers don't need to have a leaf. So if you don't like the leaf, you don't have to do it. But I liked the leaf. So we're going to go ahead and cut that 4 times. And it does have a little piece in there, which we'll poke out in 1 second. Normally my Cuttlebug would suction to my desktop, but because I'm using the Ken Oliver Craft mat, which basically is in its permanent position, I never move it because I love it so much, it doesn't suction very well to that. Which is funny, because everything else sticks to it. You would think the Cuttlebug would too, but some people don't like that, Sean.
You don't?
That everything sticks to it. Because I can understand that. Like, if you have little pieces of stuff and you're trying to pick it up, it sticks.
I mean, you almost need, like, you have to use the spatula or tweezers or something.
Yeah.
At least you know it's not going anywhere. Yeah,
it's not going anywhere. I really like it. I've had other mats that are cheap, I would say. I hate to use the word cheap, but really they were. They stained. They would move around, and this thing has taken some abuse from me, and it's done pretty good. All right, so we are done with this bad boy. We'll take that off to the side. So what we have now is, get my heat tool out of the way. We have our flowers, and then we have 4 leaves. Now, I wanted to bring some other colors into this, so I have decided to spray this with some color here, and I'll show you what I'm using. I am changing it up a little bit. The last card I used pink versus a red. This time I'm using a red. So these are my Fun Stampers Journey Color Splash sprays, and they basically are what give us this. Now, in order to get this, because when you spray this, it's got a nozzle that will actually spray out.
A nice fine mist.
A nice fine mist. I don't want that. I want kind of that droplet look. So it's really important. Obviously, I shake it, but when I use it, I don't want to push it too hard. I just want it gently, and it will look like it's not doing anything, and then it will come out in little splotches. And you can do some big splotches if you want. You just want to kind of avoid that mist. Up higher, obviously, will give you less. You could do the mist. I just preferred, I wanted kind of this splatter. I don't want to say blood splatter, but that's kind of, reminds me of an episode of Dexter. Okay, so that's about all I want to do. And I need these to dry, because these will take a little bit of time to dry. And I could use my heat tool, but the problem is with the heat tool sometimes is the heat tool will take those big splotches and it will squish, basically squish them down, not squish it down, but distribute where I don't want it to. Now this is where some people might need to shut their eyes because they freak out on me when I pick up all this color and I don't use it. Because this is a lot of color to do that. A lot of, for especially color splash, you'll see here how much color that is. And I'm not planning on using this, which you could. I'm not saying you couldn't. You could absolutely take this and put it on a white piece of paper. So for example, I have this pink color cardstock. I can now take this and get a cool distressed. I could also pick it up like this and get kind of a that look. So if you do not like to waste your color, have a sheet ready to go. I tend to just clean it up and get it out of my way. And I've had these now for, gosh, I want to say almost a year. And I don't ever save my color, do I, Sean? I should probably try to save color. But here's the deal. I was saying this to another group on this weekend. I saved, for the longest time, every single cardstock that I trimmed because I was like, oh, I should save it. And I have 4 bins full of cardstock that I said, oh, I'm going to save this. And I never look at it. So I finally just donated those. I didn't throw it away. You guys will be happy I donated it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing to our leaves. So let me bring those into... But this, what we're going to be using on this is called Lemongrass. So, that is this guy here. And this will be, essentially I wanted darker colors from the colors underneath. So I'm going to shake this guy up. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to kind of try to do that droplet look. These are a little bit harder just because they're not as much cover space, but we can still should be able to do it. There we go. Oh, well, that one's getting sprayed. So, that's okay. We like that look, but I'm going to do it on another one. Here we go. A little bit of a darker look. And now we're going to let those dry. So you can see kind of by spraying it, you get a different look. Oops, that one just fell over. So now we have even a different look. Alright, so now we're going to clean up that color really quick. And we're going to give those a little bit of time to dry. I love this color. Look at that color. It's like got accents of dark green and light green. Do I have extra white? Oh, well. Oh, I'll pick it up with a paper towel so we can see the color. This is called Lemongrass. I love it. And look at the two darker and lighter green you get there. So cool. So cool. So I'm just cleaning my mat because obviously I don't want to contaminate the next thing I work with, which I have done before, or stain something. I'm telling you what, I used to for the longest time use dollar store baby wipes to clean up. And I've recently, Sean says, you can afford to get Huggies. What a difference. Oh my gosh, if you have a baby, please don't use dollar store wipes. Use Huggies. Yeah. There's such a difference between them. Unless you're on a budget. Alright. So now that we have that drawing here, we need to go ahead and place these on the card. I'm going to show you the shaker contents I'm using. They're a little bit different. I tried a lot of shaker contents. Problem with shaker contents is if it's too light, it doesn't have a lot of, if it's not heavy, it's going to stick to the top of your acetate sheet. Which, for some, the static electricity, yeah. So I actually went to just Joann's, and I went to their jewelry department, and they had these tubes full of really tiny, tiny, tiny beads. And I used these for another shaker card, and they worked perfect. I should only need one tube, but I got 2 tubes just in case. So now we can start building this shaker card. So before I do that, though, Sean has done such a great job in cutting out. There's a little pieces that we might still need to trim, but all in all, good. So we're going to take the bottom piece. Now, this would normally attach to your card. But because I want to do this white background, I'm attaching it to this piece right here. And
wipe with dryer sheets for static.
You can do that. I think I have some. We'll try that in this video. I think I have some handy too. I also was told that if you use the same embossing powder magic, it would work. Problem with that embossing powder is, guess what? It leaves a layer of powder. Shocker. So I didn't like that. So I didn't position this 100%. So I have to trim a little bit off.
I tried.
You did pretty good, Sean. Good thing these snips are so good, Shawnee. There's that one. And let's do this one next. So once again, I'll peel off the back. And we're just going to try to line it up as best as we can. Ooh, that one's good, Sean. We still need to trim it a little bit.
Just a teeny bit.
Just a teeny bit. And there we go.
Nice.
All right, so we have this one and this one. So really at this point, it's about placement. Where do we want to place it on the card and so on and so forth. So I think, oh, I need some adhesive. That might be nice. And some foam squares. So I'm just going to copy what I did on the last card. And since I don't have adhesive now, because obviously we did this a little bit different, I'm just going to use my Fun Stampers Journey adhesive runner and make sure I do a pretty good coating on this. And the reason why is because it's a card, it's going to be a little bit uneven, and I want to make sure we have a good adherence. Is that a word? Adherence to the card.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so let's bring this back down where you guys can see it. And you know what? Before I do this, though, I'm gonna put down my leaves. Last time, well, you know, last time I'm gonna wait. I keep going back and forth. Last time I waited until the end to put my leaves, so I tucked them, which I guess I can do this time still. So we're gonna put this one in this upper corner, and this one I still need to trim just a little bit. When I did this card, so Cricut has party foil, which I'm sure you guys have seen, and Cricut also has these dies that you can make confetti or shaker card contents. So I decided to use a party foil, and Sean was like, oh, this is going to look so good, and we cut it out, and we personally took out all these pieces, and then we put the acetate, and all the foil went bloop.
It was not fun.
It was not fun, and Sean's like, nope, nope. And I was like, well, maybe if we get static, he's like, nope, move on. Move on. Nothing is worse than that moment when you're like, this is going to be awesome. This looks so good. And then it sticks to your acetate.
I'm going to go send her outside.
So. Okay. Riley needs to go outside, guys. Yeah. For those of you who are just joining our channel, we have a puppy. And she's a vocal puppy and lets us know if she has needs. Which is good. Some dogs don't. They just pee in front of you. So I guess we can be thankful. All right. So here we go. So we have our 2 flowers down. Now we need to, of course, do fillings and acetate. But before we do that, I have this, which is Fun Stampers Journey thread. And this is the Lemongrass to match the dots that we did. And I'm going to run that along the bottom of the card. So I want a good helping here. Now this is different than Fun Stampers Journey twine. Twine is waxed. It's a little bit stiffer. Where thread kind of feels, well, I mean, it's a thicker thread, but it's still a thread. It's thread. It's like Fun Stampers Journey thread, not twine. Twine is, the only colors that they have twine in are I think they have it in black, natural, candy apple, black and white, and then like a gold and silver look. And then all I do to secure twine on the back, you could use adhesive, all that good jazz, but I tend to just use my washi tape. This is the only thing I really use washi tape for. I bought all of this washi tape when it was a huge craze, and I had to have it, and I went to Michael's and bought a ton of it. I'm talking tons, and I never use it for anything. And not that I don't like the look of washi tape, I just forget about it. I forget like to use it as an actual decorative piece. So you could do this in a nice pattern. You could do it pretty random. I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to kind of shorten it here, just like so. So here we have it there. And it doesn't make a full journey onto the other side, so we're just going to cut it and grab another piece of washi and secure it here.
Oh, thanks, Mel. That's so nice of you.
Thanks, Mel.
What a gal. What a gal.
Mel just super chatted. Do you know what a super chat is, Sean?
I do. That's when somebody donates a little money and they get to be...
Why is it called a super... Oh, you do... I'm so proud of you. You know everything now. You're just professional.
I just don't craft.
You just don't craft. All right. So before we put in our goodies, we have our twine. And now I'm going to actually stick it to the card. I tend to buy my cards when they go on sale at Michael's. So Michael's will have these card kits that come with either embossed, watercolor, all this stuff. They're an A2 size card. And I don't necessarily use them, but I use them as my card bases. You can take a sheet of paper, an 8.5 by 11, cut it in half, but I'm really stingy with my paper. So I have a lot of Fun Stampers Journey paper, and it's not the cheapest stuff, so I don't tend to use it for cards. So I'll buy those when they're on a hot buy, which is usually 70% off. Plus, they'll sometimes let you use additional coupons. And you can get them for like as low as $3 for a whole box. And I really don't care what color I use because it's going to be covered up generally. But I love that. Okay. And I did have some of my tape. Oopsie dooley. So we're just going to fold that under. That happens sometimes, Sean.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody asked me exactly again, what's a super chat?
So a super chat is a way for you, and it's for anyone that's doing live, and you can comment and donate money to the creator. And what it does is it's different amounts. So you can do, I think, $2 all the way up to a lot. And it puts your comment at the top of the comments for a certain amount of time. And what's cool about it is it's a great way to support your favorite channels. It's a way for them to say something. But for channels that have hundreds of thousands of millions subscribers, sometimes they're not seeing all the comments. So if you have a comment that you really want someone to see, you can super chat it. It's very nice. Yeah. I love super chat. I've done it for a few people. So it's just a nice way to thank people for their time and effort and energy and stuff like that. All right. So the next thing we need to do is our shaker contents. So that is these bad boys. So we're going to open this right here. So the payment on a super chat goes through when you hit super chat. I think it asks you for a credit card, I believe. You might be able to do PayPal. I'm not, to be honest, I don't remember because mine's all attached to like PayPal and stuff. So you know what though? I remember doing a credit card. So it was a credit card that I super chatted someone with. So here is, you could go crazy. You could go, depends on how much of a shaker. That one's a little too full, but that's okay. Uh-oh.
Oh, now I'm making a mess.
Now I'm making a mess. So that wasn't static electricity. That was me dinging it too hard. Sean, should we add more? What do you think? Think that's good?
No, just a tad bit more.
Sean likes his shaker cards full, just so you know.
Well, not too full. You still need some so it can still settle at the bottom.
Well, it's still got a shaker. I bought 2 tubes of these, and I only needed, like, not even a half. That's frustrating. Oh, well, now I have them for another shaker card. All right, so I do have some little pieces over here, but they will fall off. And we're going to do that trick someone told us. I happen to have some here, bounce fabric sheets. Now, I use these for my metal dies. That's why I have them down here.
Mm-hmm. Which works very well.
Yes, but someone said I can use these to get the static off of my acetate.
It was nice. Apologize. You should remember the name.
Yes, you should have, Sean. How dare you? Okay, so there's one side. There's 2 sides. I don't know if I'm supposed to wait. Okay, so now we have to take this part of the adhesive off, which is around the flower. So we're going to do that carefully without moving my card because you don't want any of your shaker contents to attach up there. That would be super sad. And then you just want to make sure you line this up pretty accurately.
I'll get this next one ready for you.
There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to remove the top layer here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, we didn't. Oh, you already did it. Good job, Sean.
Just did it for you.
Sean, you're such
I love the smell of bounce.
You are such a good assistant, Sean, just so you know. I don't have any better ones. So now, we can get the rest of those beads that fell. The vacuum can get those later. By vacuum, I mean Sean with the vacuum. Yay! Look at that. Whoever's idea that was great advice. Yeah, look at that. A-okay in my book. All right.
Vacuum.
What?
I love to vacuum.
I know. You're weird. I don't like to vacuum. Okay. So hopefully these have dried, which it looks like they have. We have our leaves here. And I'm going to grab 2 of them. And we are just going to put a little bit of adhesive on there. And we're going to tuck them kind of down behind here. And you can, you could flip them over. That's the nice thing is if you don't like one side. So for example, I have a lot of ink on that side. If I don't like it, I could flip it over, but I kind of like a lot of ink. And I've seen some people bunch them up like I'm doing. I've seen other people put them off to the side. The nice thing is they do slip underneath my shaker card because it's not a full. So there's one. We're going to do another one down here. So I have 2 more. Let me grab those. We have one here and another here that I've dried. And remember, we used the color spray on this. Why are you laughing, Sean?
Barb says you can come to my house if you want to get that good cleaning fun feeling.
The Downy, or are you vacuuming?
Yeah, I'm assuming, well, Kyle
The only reason you like to vacuum is because we have dogs and we have hair all the time. And there is some satisfaction Sean has of watching a vacuum suck things up. It's the only reason you like vacuuming.
Especially with the carpet.
This is true.
I like the looks of the...
Yeah. So there's the leaves on there. I did have this one come off a little bit on the side because I think that's kind of fun. There you go. Mel, when you come to visit, Mel's like, you can vacuum all you want, Sean.
Well, don't you have all hardwood floors?
That's funny. I don't care who you are. All right, we have our top of our flowers, and I think these are a little wet still, which is really sad. They are. So...
you can do a little heat on them.
We're going to hit these with the heat tool here, because they're still a little wet. We can, that's going to take a while to dry. So we're going to do the other way, and that's the smush way. So basically, I won't do it here because there's too much to clean up, but, well, I guess it doesn't matter. So if we go like this, it's going to smush it out. And by doing that, it will dry quicker. So we have a little bit more of a smushy look. So we're going to do that on both of those to get these to dry quicker. And then I'm going to have to clean my hands.
Of course, we'll do a live when we go see Mel.
See?
It'd be done.
Those are going to dry super quick now. So I'm going to clean up my color here. Yeah, when we go visit, here's the deal. I don't know if you guys all know what happened this past weekend, if you're a fan like me, but Disney had D23, which is essentially their fan club, but they've kind of turned it into essentially kind of like a Comic-Con, where that's where they kind of do a lot of their big announcements, and they release so much fun stuff that's coming to Disney World for their, I think it's the 50th anniversary, but that's not till like 2021, I think. So I'm like, oh man, maybe we should wait to go until then. But then I started thinking, you know what, if we keep waiting...
We're gonna wait that long.
Well, and if we keep waiting, they're just going to announce the next ride, and the next ride, and the next ride, and the next ride. All right.
That was on Good Morning America. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm just taking this again. I am doing this a little bit off camera just because these are still a smidge wet, and I don't want to get it on the area. So, and now what we want to do is line this up. Now, you could use a really cool product called, I think it's Ken Oliver's product. It's called Stickums. And you could run that before you die cut it, because what we have to do now is use really, really small adhesive or an adhesive spray to get this to go on top of the acetate, which is what I'm doing. Because I don't have Stickums. I have another product that I could use, but I forgot about it, to be honest. So we want to make sure it lines up. The nice thing about using an adhesive runner is it does give you a little bit of play, so if you're off a little bit. So there is the first one. So let's get our second one. But you have to have a...
So you don't like the Xyron?
I do like the Xyron. Here's the problem with the Xyron on something like this. When it's a thin piece like this, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this too, but if you have a piece, sometimes it gets caught in the Xyron and it squishes it. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but where you'll run this through the Xyron and it's only on pieces like this that have just a thin layer, and it almost gives it a ripple, and then you have to recut it. Maybe I'm the only one that does that too. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it too fast. Maybe I'm running it through my Xyron machine too fast because I have no patience, and, you know, I don't know. But it does for me.
Minerva says glitter glue is really good for this.
What?
Glitter glue?
What about glitter glue?
Makes really good.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. I see what they're saying. Do you understand what they're saying, Sean?
I think so.
Okay. That is a good idea. Actually, a solution to that, but I don't have it. I was going to grab regular glue, and what you can do is you can actually put regular glue dip it in the glue on your mess mat and stuff. The problem with that is if you do any movement with acetate, the glue dries and covers your acetate. So I've had it where I've done a shaker card and I've done that and my glue has smushed out onto the acetate, so it smushes out. And even though glue, you know, it does dry clear, it dries with a haze over your shaker card, which for me, I don't like. That's a no-go. All right, so all we have left, peeps, is our sentiment. And to do my sentiment, I'm going to use the Fun Stamper's Journey punch system. To get on the original card, there is this little tag look here. And so that's this system here. It's a little handle. I love this tool. And they have a whole bunch of different shapes, but I'm going to be using the tag shape. You just go like this. And, oh, you know what? I'll show you the trick. I haven't been able to show this. This is what I love about this system, and I keep forgetting to show it. First, let me see what sentiment I want to do. Sean, what do we want to do for our sentiment?
I can't read that. It's too tiny.
Is this too tiny? We are going to do this one, I think, if I can read that. Oh my gosh, this is tiny.
This dark glitter glue doesn't leave a residue, so she uses it all the time.
Ooh, good to know. Which glitter glue is that? The Fun Stamper's Journey glitter glue? Alright, so I'm going to grab... I did Sweet Berry, so we're going to grab Sweet Berry ink. And I'm just going to grab... I could do this on a Misty.
Brand new, never been opened.
I could do this on a Misty, but we're going to use just a good... Do you remember what these are? These are blocks. So this is the first time I'm using the stamp, so I'm just going to...
That May made it. That one.
What?
The one that May made.
Oh, her glue's amazing.
That's what we're here.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this somewhere on my cardstock. There it is. And what's cool about the punch system is now I can
you get in there and reach it?
Do this just like so, and I can position it. So like this one, I want it up a little bit higher. You can see it's not as centered. So now I can re-stamp it over here a little higher. There we go. And I can position it exactly where I want it. So there we go. So now I can just punch it. Boop. You have to make the sound effects though, Sean.
Do I?
Or I mean, it's not that hard. If you could still do it this old-fashioned way. That's the nice thing about Fun Stamper's Journey stamps is they have the sentiment, so to line it up is pretty... Bloop. Bloop. Sound effects not included, Sean.
No.
Alright, so we have our sentiment on there, and we're going to put that right here. Right there, Sean. Uh-oh, this has pink ink. See? See? Gotta go to an area there's no pink ink. I'm using Fun Stamper's Journey squares. I like the Journey squares because they don't give it too much of a height. But they still and they're dense. Some Journey square, or some foam squares, I should say, are kind of too squishy for my taste. So when you push them on the item, they squish down, which I guess for mailing purposes is probably a good thing. But I don't know. Alright, so now we're going to move this card over here. I'm going to take my backs off. And this is going to go right there. Ta-da! All done. All done, Sean.
What's the sentiment? I didn't even read it.
What does the sentiment say?
No dreamer is ever too small.
Oh,
no
that's so sweet.
Nice.
So, we have our original card. So, we have, you'll see here I changed it up because here I used the outrageous pink, and I like that, but I wanted it to match the shaker content. So, in this one, by using the Sweet Berry, it just kind of, it changes the look of it kind of really drastically. It's kind of interesting to see the dark red versus that bright pink. It's crazy. So, these are those shaker kits. Awesome. I have to say, they make making a shaker card so easy, and I love it. If you want them, reach out to me. If not, they're going on eBay. Good old eBay is where I sell all my extra stuff if no one buys it from me. And reach out to me. But I'm going to give away both of these cards because I don't need them for any reason. So the first 2 people to answer this question will get this. i.e. these can't be people who know the answer very easily, but the first 2 people to type my mom's name. Ooh, that's hard. My mom's name can get this card. 2 people.
See if everybody knows it.
That's a hard one. Ooh, so that was it.
Betty
Ann Young gets one.
See how fast another person can type it.
Mrs. Hess, that's awesome. And Jennifer. Okay, so Jennifer Meister, and I already forgot my first person.
The other Betty.
If you reach out to me with your address, I'll send this in the mail. And it was Betty. It was B-E-T-T-Y. And just a little tidbit of information. Everyone used to always ask her if it was short for Elizabeth, which it was not. Nope. She was very adamant on that. It is Betty. It is not short for anything.
Right? Betty Jean?
Betty Jane.
Betty Jane.
It was Betty Jane Hess. So, yay, you guys have 2 cards coming to you. That's exciting.
Or a card for the 2.
A card, yeah. So, we will be back Wednesday. This Wednesday, I have a huge haul to share with you from Fun Stamper's Journey. A lot of fun stuff coming. Anything that we used in the card, make sure to check down below in the description link. Everything is down there. Some of those, by using those links, it does support us. So thank you. That's awesome. And if you guys are interested in buying these, reach out to me. And the 2 people getting their cards, reach out to me. And other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Monday.
Thank you very much for everything. Thank you again, Melody, for the super what? Super chat. Thank you, Tamitha, for doing all that, what you do.
Yeah, and if you like it, make sure to share and all that good jazz. We love it. So, thanks guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.